Good morning, everybody, and happy Saturday. I'm Michelle with Olive and Two Ewe Studios, here with you pretty much every Saturday morning at 9:30 Eastern Time. If you're watching live, we welcome you, but also if you're watching later, as so many do, we welcome you as well. We have a big jam-packed session today here on YouTube for the Yarn Hues. And so I want to dive right in pretty quickly. Just to give you a little bit of a heads up, we're going to be concluding our Bamboo Shoots knit along today, and Nancy Victorino is going to be here with us. And then we're going to be talking about a brand new, well, not brand new to us, brand new to the Yarn Hues, not brand new to Fuzzy Goat, their Yarn Amnesty Program that I just learned about and could not wait to bring it to the Yarn Hues. Before we get started, I want to say hi to Julie and Katrin and Valera and Teresa and Jamie and Deborah and Terry, all the Yarn Hues coming in. Tish, it's like romper room all over again. Katrin, I love it. I love it. I love it. So welcome to everybody. If you haven't already done so, I invite you to go ahead and subscribe to the channel. You never know what's going to happen over here on the Olive and Two Ewe channel. And then be sure to click the bell. That way you get notifications and you know all the times that we go live or whenever we post new videos. And that way you'll be sure to be in for all the fun right here. Diane's here. Julie's here. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. So our guests are celebrities always. But Cadence from Fuzzy Goat is, she goes live on Facebook every Saturday. So we are going to introduce Cadence right now from Fuzzy Goat. We've had a little bit of a tech issue today. She's a little pixelated and hopefully the sound will catch up. But Cadence, tell us a little bit about who you are. Tell us a little bit about Fuzzy Goat, if you will. And then let's dive right into the Yarn Amnesty Program because I think it's genius.
Well, thank you so much, Michelle, for including me in your time with your special people today. My name's Cadence. I'm the proprietress here at Fuzzy Goat. We're in Thomasville, Georgia, down in the southwest corner. We've been open almost 11 years, and we are a yarn shop, but really more than that, I feel like we're all about whimsy and bringing people together. You know, we really love to bring people together who don't normally spend time together, don't normally think about other people that are completely different from them. And we really love that being part of our mission. And the Yarn Amnesty is a big part of that.
So tell us what Yarn Amnesty is exactly. And then if you could give us a little bit of the backstory, like how it got started, how you're going forward, and how people can participate in that.
Sure. So we all have yarn that we have. It's in our stash. It taunts us. It mocks us. When are you going to use me? We don't really want to use it. We at Fuzzy Goat gather it up, and this will be our 7th year. And we take it to a women's prison in Georgia. And we have to rent the first year or two. We rented a van. That was fabulous. Filled the van. Now we rent a box truck, and we take it in a big U-Haul situation. Yeah,
that's awesome.
That's kind of it in a nutshell, and I'm happy to elaborate any further on all that.
Well, tell us what happens to the yarn once it gets to the women's prison.
Yes,
Does it just
because that's really important. That's the very important part. So there's now a second women's prison in Georgia that's a little bit closer. So we went there last year, and we'll be going again this year because the ones that we have been taking to in the past they still have a really good backstock. So what they do is it's a women's prison in both situations, and the inmates, which is the term that they were using. I don't know, that felt like I wanted to find something more respectful, but that was the word that the women who were staying there are there, and they use those yarns. They crochet, they don't knit with them, which is just as well because crochet uses a lot of yarn, and so they need more yarn, and we give them a lot of yarn. And so there's classes for that. Sometimes the inmates themselves crochet or lead the classes. Sometimes it might be somebody who works there that runs the classes. Mm-hmm. And what I'd really like to do is read, after we posted about this one year, this one woman replied back to our Facebook post, and I'd really like to read what she wrote.
Yes,
On there, 'cause
please.
it
Please.
blew us away. So she says, I was incarcerated at Emmanuel Women's Facility for about a year, and I was on the crochet detail. I crocheted from 8 in the morning till 4:30 in the afternoon, sometimes teaching crochet classes of 20 ladies. I want you to know that y'all's generous yarn donations help the ladies in there so very much. When I was there, I started making children's hats and scarf sets for the mothers to pick out and send to their children for Christmas. Since I was released almost 3 years ago, I've taken names and addresses of the people inmates wish to send something to for Christmas or birthdays and make and mail them to the incarcerated individuals. Prison is a very stressful place, and my crochet detail, thanks to people like y'all donating yarn to make it happen, saved my sanity while I was there.
Wow.
I'm just
That is so heartfelt.
a real person who was there, you know, through some poor choices of somebody. In a lot of cases, it's not even the women's own choices. You know, doing something that still gives me goosebumps. They often make things for nursing homes. They'll make blankets for nursing homes. They'll make blankets that go in the back of police cruisers to comfort children when they need to be, for whatever reason, in the back of a cruiser, while something in their adult world is being taken care of. So I also love having our very lovely knitting ladies have to think for a few minutes about, oh, there might be some people that that could use this yarn that's I'm not using, and they could use it too. Because for me, sometimes I feel like, but for the grace of God, you know, that could be me in a different situation or something like that. And I would really love it if somebody sent me some yarn to keep my sanity. And we're all going to be better off when the women are released and that they have a skill set to calm them like we do, because we knit and it calms us and we know how lovely and what all that does for us. So it's a big deal. We now have people shipping us yarn, which we hope that you guys will do too. Whole yarn groups do. We will send you a coupon when you do send us some yarn. So, you know, you can come back and kind of refresh your stash a little bit. We do have our giant, twice a year, we have a really big sale. So you might find some, that'll start in middle June. So you might find something there. But really, it's just a really great experience. We look forward to it every year. We look forward to the drive. We look forward, the people that work there are so joyful. It blows us away. It's not what I would have expected. They're joyful. Yeah. They're excited. They're excited to have what we're bringing. So yeah, I'm happy to have your people know more about it.
Yeah, it sounds like a win-win. So you get to clean out your stash, kind of get rid of some of that yarn that's been taunting you, as you said. I love that. And then help somebody else. Can you tell us a little bit about the timeline? Because I know that we kind of got in on the tail end of this. So can you give us an idea of the timeline, and then I'm going to go to a question that we have.
Yes. So the timeline, we start taking, you're really not late. We start taking donations today, and we do it for a week. I will say we have not scheduled our van yet, our truck. We're going to wait and see what we get. So if it comes in a little bit later, it'll be fine, because we're not leaving out the gate on June 1st. So that'll all be fine. If it does indeed come a little bit later, we have a really great Boys and Girls Club, literally right out our back door here, where they have a really great high school graduation rate in this rural part of Georgia, and they can also use donations as well.
That's fantastic.
That's the timeline. Yeah.
So if you don't have a plan for your weekend, this is your plan. This is your sign to spend some time this weekend cleaning out your stash, putting some things aside. The link to the Fuzzy Goat Yarn Amnesty Program is down below in the show notes this morning. Also, if you're subscribed to receive our newsletter, the link is in there as well. So you can go ahead maybe Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday and get that shipped off to them so that they're able to get it out there. Now, I'm looking to see here. Julie had a question. She said, did you say only crochet? Why? Because of knitting needles? Is that the issue?
Yes.
Okay.
Right. That is exactly the issue. Yeah. So people also send us crochet books, you know, and things like that too, or even hooks, but they can't have the knitting needles.
Gotcha.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. That makes good sense. So it is a little bit of a tight schedule, but not really. started to say we're in Florida. I'm not in Florida. I'm in Maine. I'm going to stop that. A lot of our Yarn-A-Use are in Florida, but we've got people all over the country, some of which are in Georgia. In fact, some of our viewers right now live in Georgia and some other areas. So go ahead and ship it off. And like she said, she hasn't quite scheduled the truck yet. So, and they'll know that there's some things coming. And then if by chance it arrives a little late, maybe your life gets interrupted and you've pulled it out of your stash, but you don't have a chance to ship it immediately, then it sounds like they can use it for the Boys and Girls Club, which is also a fantastic outlet for yarn. And that absolutely gets it out of your stash. And so you're good to go. Now we've got one other question, and I don't know which way you're going to go on this. She said, if we clean out other times, will you accept it and keep it till the next drive? So you keep it in your closet, Candace, and space being what it is, sometimes that can be difficult. So you totally get that.
That's a good question, Julie. And we do get asked that question, and we do run out of space. We do it every year. And so if you happen to be seeing Michelle's video later and we're done, save it and know that there's a place for it, but we don't really have a place to store it in between. Yeah.
Right. Space is such a difficult thing for all of us. We never have enough space, right? So I totally get that. It was interesting speaking to you this week, Cadence, because we learned that we have a similar background in terms of, social service, serving populations and that sort of thing. So that is so cool. And I love when people bring to bear on their current kind of life, their previous experiences. You don't lose that connection with people. And I think in the fiber world, it really is all about community at the end of the day, isn't it?
I didn't know that I would be able to do that in retail, to bring my social service background into it. But one of my favorite pieces in the sign in the store is this gigantic service sign that came from an old mechanics place. And so it just reminds us that, the fiber world is really about service and community. I say that knitters and crocheters are super nice people because we're humble. We will ask for help. We will say, how do you do this? Right? And we're also like calming ourselves constantly with our stitching. So
self-soothing is where it's at.
Yeah. I call it self-medicating all day long.
Kim wants to know if your Yarn Amnesty is at the same time every year. Is that right? About the same time?
It's always like late May, early June. Mm-hmm.
So do your spring cleaning of your stash and you've got a great outlet for it. Cadence, we are so thankful that you've been with us today. Thank you so very much. I know you've got to skedaddle. You've got something to get to, but let's stay in touch.
Yes.
And
I'm really open to, if your people have other ideas that we can impact more marginalized people, let us know. We'd be happy to find more ways to do that. But thank you so much, Michelle, for
letting
us be part of this.
All right. Take care. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye. How cool was that? I saw a bunch of Yarn-A-Use sneaking in here, and I know so many watch later. I hope you guys really enjoy that. My good friend Jennifer, who is a longtime friend and we've recently reconnected, told me about the program, and I immediately had to get on the phone, call and speak with Cadence and find out more about it. And I knew that the Yarn-A-Use would really want to participate. So as I mentioned, the link is down below in the show notes where you can reach out to Fuzzy Goat with the address and all the things that you need in order to ship that yarn off. And then also in the newsletter, you have your link there as well. So I'm so happy to have Cadence here this morning with us. I think this might be, no, it's not. I started to say it's my first podcast where I've had two guests. It's not, but I think it's the first one where I've had two disparate guests like that weren't together. We certainly had Julie and Kez from the yarn shop over in Scotland, but they were kind of together. But today we've got Nancy Victorino with us because we're wrapping up the Bamboo Shoots Knit Along, and it's been so much fun. So let's go ahead and bring Nancy on. Hi, Nancy. How are you?
Hello. How's everyone doing?
We're doing good. What is that around your neck? Tell us all the things.
It is my Bamboo Shoots scarf that I did for the knit along. So I had knit a second one up.
It is gorgeous.
Yes. I love this colorway. This was the darker colorway.
The Moody?
Moody, yes. Moody and Grige.
Yes. Oh, I love it so much. Look at that beautiful surface crochet.
No, I love it.
It is great.
And I also have like the original colorway, which was the Merlot.
Yes. Look at that. They're beautiful. Now, did both of yours turn out the same length, or did you do one a little longer than the other?
So the pattern says knit to 50 inches and block it. And then so I just did 5 extra inches on this one just for kicks. And it stretched to like over 70 inches. Like, this is very springy yarn. I don't know if it's like the pattern is not really that like, you know, how it's like ribbing usually lends to be stretchy. I don't know. I think that yarn just has a lot of energy and it just stretched. I was thrilled. So yeah, so this one is a super, super duper long one. Long.
I love it so much. But that's, you know, we were talking the other day, I forget, may have been at our virtual knit, crochet, spin and weave in. We were talking about kind of the length of it. And somebody said, yeah, but I made a couple mistakes. And it's like, hey, once you wrap that around a couple times, nobody's going to see any errors in the pattern.
No.
So I think that's wonderful about it. And I have to tell you, I know that some of the Yarn Hues have reached out individually, but I just want you to know all of the feedback I had was so positive. Everybody loved how clear the pattern was, how meticulously it was written, the tutorials and how helpful they were. I got nothing but really, really positive feedback. So I'm so happy about that and look forward to some future knit-alongs maybe.
Yes, definitely.
So very, very excited about that. Well, we've got prizes to get rid of today in the best way to give out. So what I'd like to do is let's go ahead, if you've got time, and roll through some of the whips so that you can see some of the projects.
Oh, I love it. I've been tracking too. I have been looking.
I love it. You can't help but look and watch.
It's very affirming to know that people are enjoying the pattern, and you know, the feedback has been amazing. And I know some people may have made a mistake or two, or one person said they didn't like how the gauge on the tension on the surface crochet. It all works out. It really does. Like, because mine wasn't even all the way across either. I did tighten a few up, but honestly, I just said I went with it. And once you wear it and it starts to stretch as you wear it, it all evens up. No one will know.
Yeah, I love that about knit and crochet. It all kind of works out and gets back around to the right thing. All right, let's roll some whips real quick and we'll take a look. Now, some of these, there might be a few things that are not the bamboo shoots, but there's mostly bamboo shoots. I can't help but dance. Okay, first up, we've got Deborah Sue. At this point, she still had a ways to go, but she was enjoying the process, and I love the color there that she chose. So she was definitely working on her bamboo shoots. Deb Feltz here, look at this. Now, she started a little late. Not everybody started on time, but that's all right. Nobody's keeping track. And she said her progress was a little bit slow, but she was loving it. And I love those colors happening there. Now, I know Anne, she had a little difficulty, and I heard from a couple people that they ended up having to frog a little bit back. And I think what happened, maybe for some, the pattern is so kind of repetitive and a good social knitting pattern, but sometimes we take that for granted and we kind of like tune out, and that may have been what happened. But she frogged 44 rows back to her big mistake, and she was on her way again. So she said her little friend Eunice there was helping her out, which is cool. This next one, Nancy, was yours in progress.
Yeah.
Look at that, that beautiful surface crochet. Becky Brown, she had gotten her first row of crochet done and she liked it. Curious if that was her first experience with that or not. I'm not really sure. All right, let's see here. And then we've got Cheryl Guin. That was when she finished hers, tassels and all. And it looks like she selected the color kit that matched the original color kit that you did, Nancy. Look how good that looked. And then let's see here. There was one other thing that I wanted to pop in here today. This is not a Bamboo Shoots, but Monica, who is our operations manager and ships everybody's goodies, she dyed a sock blanket, our Solely Socks event. Look at that on the left. And then she started knitting her socks. She's knit her first ever proper sock, as she says. She's getting started with that. So I was super, super proud of her for that. So those are some great, great whips. And we love to see, I know more of you were knitting up the Bamboo Shoots. And so we have 2 prizes to give away today, Nancy.
Yay.
2 prizes. So as we said in the beginning, if you were participating in the knit along, you had a chance to win. The more pictures you posted, the more chances you had to win. And then for those who determined and went ahead and did a Ravelry page and tagged Nancy and KnitwiseTE there for her creation of the pattern, and then the Olive and 2U yarns, you had a bonus opportunity to win. So I'm going to show you the prizes. There are 2 prizes on this slide. You see one on the left, one on the right. You've got a sock set with 2 minis, could be a sock set, or you could use it for anything you wanted, perfectly coordinated, felted soaps, knitting magnets, some other stitch markers, a little pack of soap, and each prize winner is also getting a $10 gift card to the shop. So not a bad prize for participating.
Beautiful prizes.
Not a bad prize. Deb said it's a beautiful pattern, a nice soothing knit after some serious lace she was involved in.
Yep.
So a little bit of a palette cleanser there.
Yeah,
that makes good sense. All right, so our winners for the Bamboo Shoots Knit Along, our first winner for just our regular round of folks who were posting in the Yarn Hues is dun 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 Becky Brown. Congratulations, Becky. You're going to get one of those awesome prize packs. Monica will get that shipped right out to you. And then for those of you, there were a few people who did project pages. I was really happy. Did you see that on Ravelry at all, Nancy? Had you had a chance to see that? Cool.
Yep.
For those who did that, we offered that bonus prize. And the winner of the bonus prize for doing the Ravelry page and all the tagging was Cheryl Guin.
Yay.
So congratulations, Cheryl. Monica will get your prizes all shipped out this week. I'm so excited. And I'm also excited, Nancy and I were talking, are the folks who do the Fiberside Chat Summer Shop Crawl. We're going to be featuring the Bamboo Shoots scarf for the crawl, as well as the Audrey pattern by Becky from Nomadic Knits. Those are going to be our 2 featured patterns for the crawl. I'm so excited to be able to highlight your pattern because I think I'm still so sold on this pattern because I think it's genius that people get to learn additional skills with it.
Oh, thank you.
How many people know how to do surface crochet, right?
I don't know. I learned it myself for this pattern. So I was determined. I was like, I think I've seen it on other things. And I was like, I really want to figure this out. And it's one thing to start it when like in the middle of a pattern, you just pull it up, but then to do it on the end and make sure you incorporate the ends, I just really needed to figure it out. So once I did, I was really ecstatic to include it in the, my vision was coming to life, What
has to be so exciting as a designer to like see something in your mind's eye and have the skill and ability, especially the math, to kind of put it all together.
Mm-hmm.
That's got to be super satisfying.
It was, I loved it.
Very, very neat. Well, I'm excited about it too. I think it's been a lot of fun and I'm really enjoying working with you on the new pattern that I've hinted at a little bit for our Cancer colorways. Nancy's been hard at work behind the scenes on a pattern for our 2025 Cancer Awareness Series. And this pattern, I haven't spilled all the beans, but I've spilled a few of them. Y'all know I can't be trusted with things like that. The pattern that Nancy's working on is going to be a way for you to integrate all of the colors that you want to from the 2025 Cancer Awareness Series. And it's also going to incorporate a mechanism whereby you're able to memorialize or recognize or honor people in your life who have been affected by the various cancers that we are highlighting. So it's really special. It's taking some time. We're going to be releasing some kind of planning tools in the run up to it to help you be thinking about the pattern, help you be thinking about the yarns and the people in your life who've been affected by cancer. Nancy and I have been brainstorming ways to be able to tell some of the stories as well from people who have been affected. Because we really believe together, we were talking about this, that the more people have an opportunity to tell their stories, the more meaningful that becomes to all of us. So look for that. We'll be having some planning tools out for you soon. The pattern will probably be released towards the end of the year, and we're going to do some fun things with it next year to keep the ball rolling and to give everybody an opportunity to tell those stories. How are you feeling about that pattern, Nancy?
Oh, I love it. Yep. I've got 3 different colorways that I've been playing around with, and I'm working up several different little squares, and I can't wait. I know I've showed you a preview of a few, so yeah, it's going to be make it your own project. It's going to be really endless possibilities.
Absolutely. But you're going to have enough structure. You don't have to worry.
Yeah, so it won't be too free form, but there'll be patterns, and you pick which patterns you want to put together and how you want to recognize the individuals in your life. It's your choice.
I love that. I know people sometimes get a little nervous when they hear, okay, you get to make it your own. Like, I don't know what to do. I
personalize it, I guess maybe is.
Yeah.
Personalize maybe? I don't know.
Yeah. So I just want to reassure everybody there's going to be plenty of structure. So, and we're going to provide you some planning tools so that you'll be able to work on that and make that work for you and end up with a really beautiful and meaningful project. It's so good to have you in the Yarn Amnesty, Nancy, because you're like right at my disposal. I'd be like, hello, can you do this?
Yeah.
Because I don't have the expertise to do it, to be honest, and I'm pretty transparent about that. But I know talented people who can make it happen.
Well, just like you said, community coming together.
It is all about community. So, Nancy, thank you so much for being here with us this morning. Is there anything else you'd like to share about Bamboo Shoots or anything before you get back to your day?
Well, just to let new people know that Michelle was selling kits that come with 3 balls of yarn, 3 hanks, and then it comes with a crochet hook to do the surface crochet. And I think you can just have fun with it. You can do your fringe, do your surface crochet. It's social knitting. It's all the things.
It's so perfect. Now, the link to the pattern is down below in the show notes. So you absolutely have the link to that. And remember, the tutorials are included right there. They're embedded in the pattern, which is wonderful. And it's so clear and so concise. So, Nancy, thank you so very much. We appreciate you being here. And I'm sure we'll have you back on the show at another point at some point. So thank you so much. Take care,
everyone. Have a great day.
Bye. All right. How cool was that? How lucky are we in the Yarn Amnesty to have all of this talent? I'm just saying. It's so awesome to have this much talent in the Yarn Amnesty, and that sense of community is so incredibly strong. All right. Well, what do you think about Yarn Amnesty? Tell us what you think about that. I'm curious in the comments if you let me know what you think. Like I mentioned, the link is down below in the show notes to the Yarn Amnesty program and also in your newsletter. And then, of course, the link to the Bamboo Shoots pattern. Congratulations to Becky and Cheryl for their prizes. We'll get those right out to you. And thank you to everybody who participated in the Bamboo Shoots scarf knit along. That was a lot of fun. I haven't done mine yet, but I have plans to do one. So that's right. Quick shipping, and Monday is a holiday. That's right. Shipping will not be occurring on Monday, but you'll want to go ahead and get your orders in. You're right. It's one of those things, I've said it before on so many podcasts, like, I know Monday's a holiday. I know shipping has to happen. Somehow in my brain, the two don't connect. Like, shipping can't happen on Monday because it's a holiday. So thank you, Lonnie. I appreciate that. It will happen on Tuesday, though. Definitely happen on Tuesday. In fact, when Monica and I were working yesterday, I think I said, all right, see you on Monday. And then later I'm like, no, I won't. I don't think I'll see her on Monday. I think she'll take that day off. So sometimes somebody's got to keep me on track. I'm just saying. All right, everybody, let's see what else we have this week. We've got some really cool things. We've got beautiful new colorways to get to in the shop. But before we do, I want to talk about our Ticket to Stitch mystery mystery colorway order that's up. Now, you might remember that came about because I got my very first, hopefully my last tick bite here in Maine. And somebody was like, hey, well, actually multiple people were like, hey, we need a colorway to commemorate that. Like, let's all benefit off of Michelle's paint. No, I'm kidding. But we need a colorway. And so Terry and Sherry of Lonesome Pine Yarn Works, who are the exclusive dyers behind the Olive and 2U brand and dye beautiful colorways, said they were up for it. And so they are working on a gorgeous colorway. Now, you can see that palette right there in the listing for Ticket to Stitch. If ticket to stitch is like tick to itch, get it? Ticket to stitch. Anyway, little wordplay here at Olive and Two Ewe. But the link to that colorway is actually in the newsletter. Of course, you can go to our website and just search it, or you can look in the shop link down below this video here on YouTube. I don't know if you knew that there's a shop link and you can see lots of our goodies right there. Not the entire shop, but many of them. And Ticket to Stitch is in there this morning, so you're able to see that. Couple things about that. First of all, that listing is going to close on Sunday. I know many of you have picked it up. The listing's going to close on Sunday, so Sherry and Terry can get that dyed up. And I've decided to sweeten the pot a little bit because I am sad to report that my husband, Jim, yes, Jim, got his first tick bite yesterday. Was it yesterday? I think it was yesterday. Might have been day before. I think it was yesterday. So he was getting ready for a shower and he said, uh-oh, I have a tick. And it was on his belly and it had punctured him, but it was not fully embedded yet, thank God. So we used our handy dandy Tick Patrol tick removal tool. Tick removal tool. We picked up, I think we own 10 of these now from LL Bean. We went yesterday and got more and it worked perfectly. So we were able to use it. It has directions on the back about how to use it. It's like a little key. So you slip the big part, like you wanted to know this on a knitting podcast, right? But we're going to talk about it anyway because it's important. You slip the big part over the body of the tick and then you slide it until it's firmly in there and then you just pull it out. And that way you get the head, the mouth parts. I hate saying that. It's just gross. The mouth parts and all of it. So here's what's going to happen. One lucky person who purchases Ticket to Stitch is going to get this Tick Patrol tick removal tool in their package. So I found out ticks are in a large swath of the United States. So yeah, who knows? You might need one or need to give one to somebody in your family. So we're going to throw one of those into a random person who purchases Ticket to Stitch. So you never know. So there you go. But the listing does close. Actually, the listing does close actually tomorrow evening. So you want to head on over and make your orders. I see people are doing that now. So that is a good thing. Go ahead and get your order in for Ticket to Stitch. And while you're there, why not attend a garden party? Why not attend a garden party? Sherry and Terry have dyed up a beautiful series of colorways right now. It is a garden party inspired series. There's one more colorway that I did not release today, but it'll be released next week. And they all look so good together. We had a little issue with the US mail this week, so I don't have them in person to show you, but I do have some gorgeous pictures. Down in the bottom, you have Secret Garden. That's that beautiful speckled pink. You have Meant to Be is that gorgeous green. And I know at least one person is contemplating that for a sweater. And I think it would be delightful. And then Lemon Chiffon is that yellow color. So you've got Secret Garden is the pink, and it's got all the multicolored speckly colors in it that make it work so well with Lemon Chiffon. I love that yellow. I'm not a big yellow person, even though the sweater I'm wearing today, it's more of a green yellow, but I love that Lemon Chiffon. And then Meant to Be is this beautiful kind of sherbet mint color. Maria Klein is the one who said, I think, that reminds me of sherbet. And I'm like, you know what? It really does. And I love it so much. So those colorways are available in multiple bases, but you definitely want to get them. They're gorgeous. They speak of spring. They speak of summer. And I was just eyeing a pattern yesterday. Ooh, I might need to post it in the Yarn of Hues. It was by Francois. I can never pronounce her last name very well, I think. She is kind of Maori heritage. And she's come out with a really beautiful pattern that I thought would be perfect for these colorways. Really, really perfect for these colorways. So what is her last name? Friend, I know Lonnie, I know you know. She was one of the Knit Stars folks at one point. Francoise. Anyway, those are gorgeous, gorgeous colors. Sherry and Terry were like, you have to see them. You're going to love them. And they were not wrong. I absolutely loved them. They are in the shop right now and available to be purchased along with Ticket to Stitch, the mystery colorway. And you can see the pattern not the pattern, the color palette right there for you. Absolutely. It's right there. Speaking of talking to Maria and some other people, we had our virtual knit, crochet, spin, and weave in this past Wednesday night. Again, we started back with those on Zoom. They do happen twice a month, the first and third Wednesday of each month. You can bring your knitting, you can bring your crochet, you can bring your spinning, you can bring your weaving, whatever you want to do. We hang out together on Zoom. We share our projects. We talk about patterns, talk about all the things, and we always have a great time. It is definitely a wonderful opportunity for community among the Yarn U's. Denoy, that's it. Thank you. Thank you, Lonnie. I knew you would know. I knew you would. That's the last name of Francoise, who is the pattern designer. So beautiful, beautiful pattern she has out. All right. So virtual knit, crochet, spin, and weave in first and third Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern time. We typically go until 8:30. We had 14 or 15 there this week. It was a good group. We typically have anywhere from like 10 to 20. It just depends. And we roll around to everybody who gets to share. And then there's usually a little banter and some fun stuff. And every now and then I've been known to give away a prize, like randomly. I think one time I gave away a $25 or a $50 gift certificate, just out of the blue. You never know. So it's a really good idea to pop over to the virtual knit, crochet, spin, and weave in. The link is always in the Yarn U's that morning, typically by noon, let's say. And then there's usually a newsletter that goes out, a special newsletter with the Zoom link as well. So you can watch your inbox for that. And so you don't miss out on it. The Fiberside Summer Yarn Crawl, the virtual crawl. I know some Yarn U's have already signed up for that. We are delighted to be a featured shop for that this year. I'm so excited. I'm working on the video now. They have us do like pre-recorded videos for it. Monica and I have been hard at work putting that together for you. I think we are the second shop on the schedule for it. I could be wrong. I think we're shop number 2 on the first day, which is very exciting. I could be wrong about that. Don't quote me on that as I say it live on YouTube. But I think we're the second shop that day. It's going to be a lot of fun. We've really enjoyed participating in the Fiberside chats this past year, and we'll continue to do that. And the Yarn U's, like I said before, always show up, which is awesome. The Yarn U's are fantastic. So that virtual yarn crawl gets you into a ton of shops all over North America. There are exclusive patterns. There's going to be prizes, all kinds of fun things. And who knows, you might find some new yarn or new shop that you just fall in love with. Again, I really believe a rising tide lifts all ships. So I don't mind having Fuzzy Goat on or somebody else who does things, because I think it's a community and it should always be community based. And so I'm looking forward to seeing the shops myself that are part of that virtual yarn crawl, and so delighted to be a part of that. So right now the link is in the newsletter. You can click there, head over to Longmont Yarn Shop, who organizes everything. I think it's $10 for your all access pass. And that way you'll have all the ends. You'll get your links to watch the videos and learn more about the shops and see all the things. So you don't want to miss out on that. $10 is pretty good, I think. $10 is pretty good for your all access pass. All right. Whew, we've done a lot of talking this morning. We looked at some whips. I love seeing the whips in the Yarn U's. Keep posting your goodies. It's always fun to see. I keep saying I've got to get my sweater on the needles, but if you could see like the stuff that's over here in the rest of the studio and the organizing that I'm doing, you would understand why I'm not knitting anything at the moment. But I'm thinking once everything is organized, I'm wondering how you all might like a studio tour. Would that be something you'd be interested in? Let me know down in the comments, and I'll see what I can do. I don't know when that would be. I can tell you this, it won't be next week because I still have a lot to do. But I'd be open to doing a little studio tour, and you could see all the various areas in here. And I think that would actually be a lot of fun. If you're heading with us to Scotland, you know, the time has passed for your third payment to get in. So you want to go ahead and make sure and make that third payment. If you haven't already done so, I can still get 1 or 2 people in. So if you know somebody who wants to go or you want to go, just let me know and we'll get you all caught up and get you in for the fun trip over to Scotland that's happening September 22nd to October 2nd this year. We're going to start sending more information fast and furious to everybody as the time gets closer. I spoke with Kelly from CIE Tours yesterday, and we're all on track and so excited about the trip to Scotland. I know a couple people have said, I can't go this year. I hope to go next year. This is the first time we're doing trips 2 years successively, not successfully, but successively, like one right after the other. So I don't know if there'll be a trip next year, to be honest. We'll see. There will probably be more trips in the future, but I don't know that it'll be next year, especially because we're doing one in the fall this year. We have done them historically in the spring. So we'll see how that works out. But if you want to go to Scotland, I recommend you go this trip, and I can sneak you in at the very end, sneak you in so that you don't miss out on any of the fun with the coups and all the fun things happening. Just go, just do it. It's fun. You deserve it. It's going to be a blast. Traveling with the Yarn Hues is always a great time. So you don't want to miss out on that. Okay, I'm seeing you want a studio tour. Oh, a house tour and a yard tour. Complete with the ticks? I just need to know. Complete with the ticks. Somebody asked what sweater I'm wearing. This is my Sarin sweater, and it was knit up in Homer yarn, which is buttery, buttery soft. A little turtleneck going on, a little turtleneck action, because I'm seeing sun out the window today, but it has been really rainy and pretty chilly, like down into the 40s the last couple of days, and there's more rain in the forecast today. Mount Washington had 11 or 12 inches of snow right over the border in New Hampshire. We were over in New Hampshire yesterday, and there's snow on Mount Washington. You can watch the webcams and see the snow go down. So it definitely makes you want to wear all the cuddly hand knits, and it makes me want to get my other sweater on the needles. That right there, I've got to get that done. So you guys, thank you so much for being here. It's always so good to see the Yarn Hues. And as I said earlier, if you're watching later, we welcome you as well. It's not always convenient to pop on at 9:30 on Saturday morning, although, get your kids, get your husband, get your dog, get your cat, get your reptile to make you breakfast in bed, and cuddle in, Corey in for the Olive and Two Ewe podcast on Saturday mornings at 9:30. I'm typically here live. My name is Michelle, and I'm with Olive and Two Ewe Studios. A happy Memorial Day. Well, not actually happy Memorial Day. It's Memorial Day. We need to remember those who have given everything, but a happy holiday. Spend it with your family and friends. Treasure everybody and remember those who have sacrificed all, and enjoy your time. Be safe, and we will see you later in the Yarn Hues. Take care, everybody. Have a great weekend. See you soon.